Good afternoon, my name is Andy Fanner. I work for Area Compressed Air Solutions, and for my second year project I have designed and built a low pressure alarm. Okay. So, my project has been mainly customer orientated and is focused on pressure sensitive environments. I'll focus my attention around the spray booth environment as Area have a growing number of customers with paint spraying processes at the heart of their businesses. These businesses require meticulous precision and quality, and the daily demands are high to these businesses, not to mention the health and safety regulation, which is ever increasing. I need to change the slide. There's a bit about me. So my job, I'm a compressed air maintenance engineer. I've come through the apprenticeship route. I'm now in higher education, almost about to complete. And there's a picture of me from a few years ago. So this is my low pressure alarm that I've built. And I suppose you're wondering, how is this low pressure alarm actually going to meet the consistent standard and quality of these environments? So, answer that in its design. It's quite simple and robust. Simply turn the low pressure alarm on with the on and off switch. The green light will illuminate. This will show you that it's operational. Once there's air in the system, and that comes in from the bottom here, you can't quite see, that's just a 10mm nylon piece. That will run the nylon out into the compressed air line. Once the pressure's in, you should see the pressure rise on the pressure gauge. If at any point the pressure drops below the set point, the low pressure alarm will trigger. So that's it in a very simple nutshell. If the pressure drops below the set point, alarm is triggered. The piezo alarm, you can't quite see that either. That's on the side, and that repeats a high pitch frequency. It's quite annoying, but it's there to alert yourself to danger that you have a pressure drop. You've also got a red LED, again just to alert you, but hopefully by that time you've heard your piezo go off. So, simple, robust, but how is it powered? It's powered by a 12V DC supply in the bottom. Why is it in the bottom? It's in the bottom to help to eliminate particulate or dust and debris from entering the low pressure alarm box. Spray booth environments can quite often get very messy. That's the reasoning for creating a weatherproof housing. Internally, you've got a 9V battery. I've run it through some diodes so you can use that as a backup system. Should there be a power cut, or should the customer wish to use the low pressure alarm without the use of the normal supply, the alarm will operate. So that will only be for short running periods, but ideally you would have it in on the main supply. Only got a 10mm nylon bit at the bottom to connect the alarm. It's quite simple. If I move on to telling you a bit more about how I've kept my project rolling, so to speak, I've used an ongoing logbook. This logbook's been quite easy to view and allows me to track what I'm doing and when I've done it. So in this logbook each week, I'm just noting what I've done, what I've achieved, if I've had any issues and how I've overcome them. And then I've set an action plan. And this has helped me to keep working effectively as the weeks have gone on. So there is my ongoing logbook. It's quite simple. I found it worked for me, so that's why I've used it. Somewhere through the project, I've had to issue a change request form. The ideal pressure switch that you would use in this application massively exceeds the budget I was set by my company. The budget set of £120, pressure switch coming in at £98. This didn't leave me much room to play around with wires, LEDs, the housing, or the piezo. So, what have I done? I've got around this issue by using a cheaper pressure switch with less adjustability. It still meet the demand, it's just got less accuracy in the set point. So, that did come at a cost. Slightly bigger space required, but we can still make the project work. So I issued the change request to Tom Clark because I needed to use a different pressure switch to trigger the alarm. That is the change request form. I also used a Gantt chart, and this has been an effective tool for helping me to planning my project out. And also has given me a really quick and easy way to understand where I am with the project throughout the whole process. It allows me to quickly view where things have overrun or where I've taken less time to complete a task. In the red we can see a section here as part of my research which is extended further into the project, and this time I've had to carry out more research to find compatible components with the circuit. Part of that was the pressure switch and how the actual alarm triggered. It's not been an issue, and I feel that I've caught up because I used less time than initially estimated in my estimating cost stage. So the project continued to move on through. Move on to my evaluation and summary. I'm very happy with this project and the outcomes that I've seen through it. It's been a good learning experience and has allowed me to impress my boss and also to create a alarm system that I'm proud of myself. It's simple, it's robust, and it meets the specification that I set at the beginning of the project. I've learned a great deal, and it certainly would get your attention if it went off in your work environment. It didn't all go right, and as part of the build phase I had issues where the incorrect pressure switch was delivered and the correct one did not come in time. So nonetheless, I improvised and I made it work and securely fitted it to the outside. So now it protrudes slightly. If you saw the picture, you couldn't quite see that it protrudes from the alarm box, but had the correct one been sourced and delivered, we would have had a flush mount one, which just helps the project to look a little bit more professional. So with that hiccup, I improvised, and we've now got an airtight pressure gauge which gives you an accurate reading of what pressure there is in the system. So at this point I also asked myself, what could I have done to improve the project? Had I also been able to source the correct and most ideal size pressure switch, we would have a much smaller low pressure alarm box. The smaller alarm box, I feel, is a much more improved object in the end, and it promotes more quality, as I feel. With that said, the low pressure alarm fulfills its requirement.
Thanks very much.
So that is what I've done. Please come to the trade exhibition on the 24th of this month.
Just a question, and just to wrap up then. If we were now to take this product into mass production,
Yes.
what would you change in it as it is now, as a prototype, into mass production?
As it currently is, well, in mass production you'd have an ability to bulk buy components. That would massively bring the cost of the whole box and project down, and you'd end up with a cheaper box, which is great for the end customer. That would include mounting of flush panel mount pressure gauges and also smaller, more ideal, accurate pressure switches inside. You'd end up with something a lot smaller, look a lot better for a little less.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.